Good evening, I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV, where we bring you the day's biggest news stories from India and across the world. We begin the bulletin with a positive news. The Health Ministry on Saturday said that a positive trend is emerging in 47 districts from 23 states, in which not even a single case of COVID-19 has been reported in the last 14 days. It added that 22 new districts from 12 states had joined this list, which shows our field level action is yielding positive results. The government also added that the percentage of cured patients from coronavirus is improving in India. Revealing data, Health Ministry said that at least 1,992 patients have been cured so far out of the total cases of 14,378, which is 13.85%. Over the last 24 hours, India reported 991 positive cases of COVID-19. 43 people lost their lives. Total number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 went up to 14,378 in the country and 480 patients died. Briefing media on coronavirus, the Health Ministry Joint Secretary Love Agarwal said of 14,378 positive COVID-19 cases, 4,291 have been linked to Tablighi Jamaat congregation. The ministry said overall mortality rate in India as on Saturday stood at 3.3%. It added 75.3% of the COVID-19 deaths in India have been recorded in those who are 60 years of age and above. It maintained that of the coronavirus deaths in the country, 83% cases have been reported to have comorbidities.
कि स्टेट लेवल पर, डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पर किए हुए कार्यों के द्वारा हमें अच्छे रिजल्ट्स भी काफ़ी हद तक मिलने लगे हैं, जिसके तहत 23 राज्यों में 47 जिलों में हमने एक पॉजिटिव ट्रेंड नोट किया है, जिसमें कि इससे पहले मैंने बताया कि माहे इन पुडुचेरी, उसके साथ साथ कोडगु इन कर्नाटका में भी पिछले 28 दिनों से एक पॉजिटिव केस नहीं आया है। ये वह डिस्ट्रिक्ट थे जहां पर इससे पहले पॉजिटिव केस आए थे। 23 जिलों में, 23 स्टेट्स में 45 अदर डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स है जहां पर भी पिछले 14 दिनों से कोई भी नया केस रिपोर्ट नहीं हुआ है। इससे पहले जिन जिलों के बारे में मैंने आपको बताया था, उन जिलों के अलावा 22 नए डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स, 12 स्टेट्स में ऐसे आए हैं जहां पर कि पिछले 14 दिनों से कोई केस रिपोर्ट नहीं हुआ है।
Meanwhile, total number of positive cases in Maharashtra has reached 3,233. With 201 deaths, the state recorded highest number casualty nationally. In Delhi, at least 1,707 people confirmed positive for the infection. With 1,323 COVID-19 patients, Tamil Nadu reported third highest cases in the country.
लोगों की समस्याओं का निदान करने के लिए सभी राज्य सरकारों और केंद्र शासित प्रदेशों ने कंट्रोल रूम और हेल्पलाइंस स्थापित कर दिए हैं। सभी राज्यों ने आपदा प्रबंधन के लिए स्टेट इमरजेंसी ऑपरेशन सेंटर्स और डिस्ट्रिक्ट इमरजेंसी ऑपरेशन सेंटर्स को भी क्रियान्वित किया है। इनकी डिटेल्स भी गृह मंत्रालय की वेबसाइट पर उपलब्ध हैं। श्रम एवं रोजगार मंत्रालय ने भी संपूर्ण देश में मजदूरों के लिए 20 शिकायत केंद्र स्थापित किए हैं। गृह मंत्रालय का कंट्रोल रूम भी 24/7 अपनी सेवाएं प्रदान कर रहा है। हमारी नई टोल फ्री हेल्पलाइंस 1930 और 1944 पर भी लोगों की समस्याओं का निदान किया जा रहा है। इसके अलावा आज देश के 29 राज्यों और केंद्र शासित प्रदेशों में सिंगल इमरजेंसी रिस्पांस नंबर 112 अपनी सेवाएं प्रदान कर रहा है।
The Health Ministry also maintained that RT-PCR test is standard frontline test for COVID-19 diagnosis. Meanwhile, Indian Council of Medical Research has also issued an advisory to the states and union territories to use rapid antibody test kits in COVID-19 hotspot areas. ICMR said that the rapid antibody test kits procured were not meant for early diagnosis but only for surveillance and trend checking. The research body said that while using the rapid antibody test kits, it is critical to understand that gold standard frontline test for COVID-19 diagnosis is real-time PCR-based molecular test, which is aimed at early virus detection.
कि रियल टाइम पीसीआर टेस्ट is actually the gold standard frontline test for COVID-19. ये पॉइंट इसलिए बताना जरूरी समझता हूं कि हम सबको डिफरेंस पता होना चाहिए कि रियल टाइम पीसीआर टेस्ट वर्सेस एंटीबॉडी टेस्ट के क्या क्या रोल और क्या क्या लिमिटेशंस हैं। तो इसमें मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि रियल टाइम पीसीआर टेस्ट को ही हम कंफर्मेशन टेस्ट के रूप में मानते हैं। जो रैपिड एंटीबॉडी टेस्ट है वह इस टेस्ट को रिप्लेस नहीं करता, और रैपिड एंटीबॉडी टेस्ट का प्राइमरी पर्पस है कि वो प्रिवलेंस ऑफ डिजीज इन ए पर्टिकुलर एरिया के बारे में दर्शाता है, और इसकी यूटिलिटी जैसे कि इससे पहले भी अवगत किया गया है कि एंटीबॉडीज बनने में करीब मिनिमम 7 दिन लग सकते हैं बॉडी में। तो इसकी यूटिलिटी, अगर कोई आदमी इन्फेक्टेड है तो 7 दिन के बाद ही उसके सिम्टम्स आ सकते हैं, तो उसके बाद ही इसकी कोई हमें क्लैरिटी या कोई आउटपुट मिलता है। साथ ही रैपिड डायग्नोस्टिक टेस्ट का पर्पस कंफर्मेटरी टेस्ट के रूप में ना होते हुए एपिडेमियोलॉजिकल स्टडीज और सर्वेलेंस पर्पसेस के लिए किया जाता है।
According to the Union Health Ministry, field level actions are yielding positive results in the country. The 45 districts in the country have shown no new positive results in the last 14 days. The government is again emphasizing on following the containment plan, lockdown and social distancing in the country. Anu Diwan for Rajya Sabha TV.
And in order to curb opportunistic takeovers or acquisitions of Indian companies due to the current COVID-19 pandemic, the government on Saturday amended the Foreign Direct Investment Policy 2017. The revised policy states that a non-resident entity can invest in India under the FDI policy except the sectors and activities that are prohibited. However, entities and persons that belong to countries that share land border with India can invest only under the government route. Citizens or entities of Pakistan can invest only under the government route in sectors and activities other than defense, space, atomic energy, and sectors and activities prohibited for foreign investment. Government route is also required in the event of the transfer of ownership of any existing or future FDI in an entity in India, resulting in beneficial ownership falling within the purview of Para 3.1.1a. And on to some other news. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Friday chaired a meeting of the group of ministers on the COVID-19 situation in our country. The GOM discussed measures to ease the hardships of people and the ways in which ministries could provide relief to people. In a Twitter message, Rajnath Singh said that group of ministers also appreciated the guidelines to allow limited activities and the measures announced by the Reserve Bank of India. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar, HRD Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, Railways Minister Piyush Goyal, Labour Minister Santosh Kumar Gangwar, Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani and Consumer Affairs Minister Ram Vilas Paswan were among those who attended the meeting. And there has been a decline in the rate of increase in the number of coronavirus patients in India. According to the data released by the government, this reduction has been 40% since 1st of April. For instance, where the average growth rate of COVID-19 cases was 2.1 from 15th to 31st of March, it decreased to 1.2 from 1st of April to 15th of April. Meanwhile, it is also taking longer for the number of COVID-19 to double. Before the lockdown was imposed, the number of cases was doubling in just 3 days. But now it is taking 6.2 days. Patient recovery rate has also improved. Whereas earlier the recovery rate was 10.6%, now it is more than 13%.
ग्रोथ फैक्टर कैलकुलेट किया जाता है कि जो नए केसेस आए हैं उनको उससे पहले वाले दिन कितने केसेस आए थे उसके प्रोपोर्शन में कैलकुलेट किया जाता है। तो अगर हम इस डेटा को भी देखें तो पाते हैं कि अगर हम 1 अप्रैल से 1.2 के एवरेज ग्रोथ फैक्टर को देख रहे हैं, जबकि इससे 2 हफ्ते पहले यही ग्रोथ फैक्टर 2.1 एवरेज था 15 मार्च से 31 मार्च तक, तो हम पाते हैं कि करीब 40% डिक्लाइन हुआ है ग्रोथ फैक्टर में।
And now let's get all the updates from our colleague Kriti Mishra, who's joining us live from the national capital. Kriti is tracking all those developments related to COVID-19 in our country very, very closely, and she's also looking at all the government measures so far. Kriti, as far as COVID-19 pandemic goes, the situation in India is comparatively much better than many other countries. What are the reasons for it?
Well, absolutely. India has recorded a 40% drop in growth of virus cases during the nationwide lockdown. indicating that the restrictions have helped contain the contagion. Before the lockdown, the number of cases doubled in about 3 days, but for the past week, it has taken about 6.2 days for the cases to double. There are several factors that are pertinent to mention here. Firstly, of course, the timely decision of the lockdown or extension of lockdown that we are calling lockdown 2.0. While most of the countries were oscillating and actually weighing the economic opportunity cost of lockdown, India was absolutely clear about the roadmap to be followed and the strategy that it adopted. And also the expansion of testing facility, that is a very crucial factor. Now that we've seen that Indian Council of Medical Research has also issued an advisory mentioning the protocol for using rapid antibody test kits in COVID-19 hotspot areas in view of several states choosing to use these kits in the affected areas. In fact, ICMR has also said that the National Task Force has carefully reviewed the data evolving from various countries on the use of such kits. And based on the available evidence, the testing strategy for COVID-19 has been evolved. Now here, as we're talking about the factors, there are several other important steps that the government has taken, including fortifying the medical infrastructure, adopting cohesive strategies with the states, constituting empowered group for better coordination. So these steps actually ensured that the ratio between recovered COVID-19 patients and the deaths stand at 80 to 20 in India, which is higher than that in several other countries. Over to you.
Right. And Kriti, the talk is all about flattening the curve. What does it exactly mean? And, looking at the government's efforts, how far is India from achieving it?
Well, the World Health Organization continues to call upon all countries to implement a comprehensive approach with the aim of slowing down transmission and flattening the curve. Now, what does this mean? Well, the curve takes on different shapes depending on the virus's infection rate. It could be a steep curve in which the virus spreads exponentially and the total number of cases skyrocket to its peak within a few weeks only. Now, the faster the infection curve rises, the quicker the local healthcare system gets overloaded or eroded beyond its capacity to treat people, something that we've seen in several European countries. A flatter curve, on the other hand, assumes the same number of people ultimately get infected, but over a very long period of time. So a slower infection rate means a less stressed healthcare system, fewer hospital visits on any given day, and fewer sick people, and that is what we are witnessing right now, and that is the aim and objective that India is working towards and several states are also working towards. Back to you.
Alright, Kriti, thank you so much for all those updates on the COVID-19 situation in India. On to some other news. Students of class 12th of some government schools in Delhi have launched a unique initiative to help the needy at the time of lockdown. Over the last 6 days, these students reportedly provided food to some 1,200 families with their pocket money. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu welcomed the initiative and shared this picture on his Twitter page. Stating that the step is indicative of a bright future, the Vice President said that everyone should take inspiration from these students and instill a sense of service in themselves. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has appreciated the relentless efforts being made by various government agencies in serving the nation during the COVID-19 pandemic. In a series of tweets, Prime Minister Narendra Modi praised all those who are working round the clock to ensure the country's energy needs. He said that the government is committed to help dynamic small and medium enterprises and businesses, and all possible assistance is being ensured to those who need it. The Prime Minister also hailed the Indian Railways for helping citizens during this crucial time. Exuding confidence, the Prime Minister said that we are in this fight together, and together humanity shall overcome this pandemic. And the government on Friday launched the Kisan Rath mobile app to help farmers transport their produce speedily all over India during the lockdown period. Launched by Union Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, the app connects farmers and traders with transporters across the country. It allows transporters to register their vehicles and provide services to farmers and traders. Working on the same principle like aggregator apps like Uber and Ola, farmers can use the Kisan Rath app, book trucks or tractors to ferry their produce to the markets. The Kisan Rath brings on board over 5 lakh trucks and 20,000 tractors from custom hiring centers run by farmer groups. The Pan India app is available in 8 languages. Android users can download it from Google Play Store. Earlier this week, the government had also launched the All India Agri Transport Call Centre to facilitate interstate movement of perishables during the lockdown period.
जहाँ ट्रांसपोर्ट या अन्य जगह पर बात करने की जरूरत नहीं होगी, वो सीधा इस ऐप के ऊपर डाउनलोड करेगा तो उनके ऊपर उसके नंबर मिलेंगे और उससे वो अपनी किस तरह से दूसरी जगह जहाँ ट्रांसपोर्ट या अन्य जगह पर बात करने की जरूरत नहीं होगी, वो सीधा इस ऐप के ऊपर डाउनलोड करेगा तो उनके ऊपर उसके नंबर मिलेंगे और उससे वो अपनी किस तरह से रेट तय करना है तो वो रेट भी तय कर सकता है। और जिस तरह से ओला और उबर के अंदर सिस्टम है, उसी तरह ये एक ऐप आज लॉन्च किया गया है।
And India Post, the world's biggest postal network, is also lending its support to millions of Indians during the COVID-19 pandemic. The postal network, with more than 1.56 lakh post offices, of which 1.41 lakh are in rural areas, is proving to be instrumental in delivering essentials to lakhs of people during the nationwide lockdown. According to the Home Ministry, India Post has delivered over 100 tons of medicines and other essentials across the country using freight flights and mail vans. Over 2 lakh postmen and Grameen Dak Sevaks are ensuring payments to government scheme beneficiaries through the India Post Payment Bank using Aadhaar-based payments.
भारतीय डाक ने मालवाहक उड़ानों एवं लाल मेल मोटर वैनों द्वारा आवश्यक वस्तुओं का वितरण किया है, जैसे दवाइयाँ, कोविड परीक्षण किट और मेडिकल इक्विपमेंट जैसे वेंटिलेटर्स। उन्होंने 100 टन से अधिक दवाई एवं मेडिकल इक्विपमेंट अस्पतालों एवं अन्य ग्राहकों तक पहुंचाया है। लॉकडाउन के दौरान भारतीय डाक ने विशेष व्यवस्था करके अंतर्राज्य और राज्यांतरिक डाक पहुंचाई है। डाक विभाग प्रयासरत है कि लोगों को उनकी पेंशन राशियों का भुगतान तथा सरकार के अन्य सामाजिक लाभ उनके द्वार तक पहुंचाएं। आधार आधारित भुगतान प्रणाली का प्रयोग करते हुए लगभग 2 लाख डाकिये और ग्रामीण डाक सेवक किसी भी बैंक से संबंधित राशि का भुगतान इंडिया पोस्ट पेमेंट बैंक्स के माध्यम से ग्राहकों को उनके द्वार पर सुनिश्चित करा रहे हैं।
Amid the nationwide lockdown, the government has taken measures to take care of the poor, the workers and those who need immediate help. The Modi government has announced a relief package of 1.7 lakh crore rupees known as the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan scheme, covering 80 crore people. Now, under the scheme, each beneficiary will get 5 kilograms of rice or wheat and 1 kilogram of a preferred pulse per household every month for free for the next 3 months. Also, the scheme focuses on giving payments to different sections of the society directly into their bank accounts. Now, these include farmers, Manrega workers, widowed pensioners, the differently abled, women with Jan Dhan accounts, women running self-help groups, etc. Payout has also been given to 8.69 crore farmers under the PM Kisan since the beginning of the lockdown. Registered farmers have been given first installment of 2,000 rupees with a total payment of 16,621 crore rupees. And wages under Manrega have been increased from 182 rupees to 202 rupees, which would mean an additional 2,000 rupees for every worker. 3 crore poor senior citizens, widows and differently abled are getting one-time ex gratia amount of 1,000 rupees in 2 installments. 20 crore women Jan Dhan account holders will get an ex gratia amount of 500 rupees per month for 3 months. Women in the 8.3 crore below poverty line families covered under the Ujjwala scheme will get free cylinders for 3 months. Collateral-free loan amount is to be doubled to 20 lakh rupees for women in self-help groups, with 7 crore households being benefited through the 63 lakh self-help groups. The government will also pay Provident Fund contribution for both employer and employee for 3 months. This would cover those establishments which have up to 100 employees and 90% employees earning less than 15,000 rupees per month, benefiting 80 lakh workers. Provident Fund scheme regulations are also to be amended to allow non-refundable advance of 75% of amount in account or 3 months of wages, whichever is lower. This will benefit 4.8 crore workers. The Modi government has also directed state governments to utilize the 31,000 crore rupees under the Building and Other Construction Workers Fund to support 3.5 crore construction sector workers. Over 2 crore construction workers have already received financial support worth 3,066 crore rupees under the fund. Besides this, the government will also provide medical insurance cover of 50 lakh rupees each per person to those at the front lines of fighting the virus. Now, these include doctors, nurses, paramedical staff, the sanitation workers and ancillary workers. Now, besides these measures under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan scheme, there are some other measures as well, and these include poor households using 5 kg cooking gas cylinders are entitled to 8 free refills in 3 months as a relief from the disruptions due to COVID-19 outbreak. The number of free refills have been limited to 3 for beneficiaries using 14.2 kg cylinders. And the government is also setting up a chain of 20 lakh retail stores known as the Suraksha stores all over India that will provide essentials to the citizens while also maintaining stringent safety norms. The Finance Ministry has made an immediate release of 18,000 crore rupees in tax refunds to individuals and businesses. Also, the last date for filing of income tax returns for the financial year 2018-19 has been extended to 30th of June 2020. The interest rate on delayed income tax payment has also been decreased to 9% from 12%. Also, the deadline for filing of GST returns for March, April, May has been extended to 30th of June 2020. There will be no interest or penalty on late fee for delayed returns for companies with turnover up to 5 crore rupees. And now an update on the global coronavirus pandemic situation. Across the world now, the novel coronavirus has now infected more than 22 lakh people and more than 1,50,000 people have lost their lives so far. The World Health Organization says that out of these 22 lakh cases, over 15,28,600 are active cases, while more than 7,30,000 people have recovered so far. 37,175 people have died in the United States, surpassing all countries. The number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the country has crossed the 7 lakh mark. Italy recorded over 22,700 deaths and as many as 1,72,434 cases. Spain reported over 20,000 deaths with more than 1,90,800 positive cases. On Saturday, France reported 761 more coronavirus deaths, taking the toll to 18,681. Total COVID-19 cases surpassed 1,40,000 after 405 fresh cases were registered in the past 24 hours. The UK registered 1,08,692 confirmed coronavirus infections with over 14,000 deaths as of now. Meanwhile, the overall confirmed COVID-19 cases in China rose to 82,719 after 1,566 new cases were reported in the mainland on Saturday. According to the National Health Commission, the death toll in the country jumped to 4,632 with a 50% spike in fatalities after data was revised from the epicenter, Wuhan.
More than 2 million cases of COVID-19 have now been reported to WHO, and more than 135,000 people have lost their lives. While we mourn for those we have lost, we also celebrate those who have survived and the thousands of people who are now recovering. WHO is updating our guidance to include recommendations for caring for patients during their recovery period and after hospital discharge.
Since the outbreak of novel coronavirus, India has offered to help over 50 countries in the fight against the virus. On Friday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and South African President Cyril Ramaphosa exchanged views on domestic, regional and global challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister Modi assured President Ramaphosa that India will provide all possible support to South Africa for ensuring supplies of essential medicines during this challenging time. The Prime Minister also discussed the global health crisis with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Both leaders agreed to continue exchange of experiences and best practices to learn from each other. India has been leading the Southeast Asian region in order to contain the coronavirus outbreak. It has supplied the anti-malarial drug hydroxychloroquine and paracetamol to 55 corona-hit countries so far, both in terms of grants and also on commercial basis. A number of countries including the US, Mauritius and Seychelles received the drug in recent days. Many others are scheduled to get it by the weekend. In its immediate neighborhood, India has made the medicines available or is in the process to do so for Afghanistan, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Maldives, Mauritius, Sri Lanka and Myanmar. Other nations are the Philippines, Russia, Slovenia, South Africa, Sri Lanka, Tanzania, the UAE, Uzbekistan, Uruguay, Colombia, Algeria, Bahamas, Mauritius and the United Kingdom. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu thanked Prime Minister Modi after New Delhi decided to ship the medicines. Several other countries including the UK have also expressed their gratitude. Jose Singer, Special Envoy of the Dominican Republic to the United Nations Security Council and the President of the UNSC, has called India a key player in the current global order. He also thanked India for allowing his country to purchase of some of the medicines being used to treat this virus, but also donating 2 lakh tablets. And with that, we wrap up this edition of News Tonight. Thanks for watching. Good night.